Hey guys, Reese here from Creator Concepts. I don't know if this is going to be episode 5 of Documenting the Journey, or whether I'll just title this as like a marketing advice kind of thing, or at least running through how we run marketing at Creator Concepts, or how we're at least experimenting with it. So just to start off, my name's Reese, founder of Creator Concepts. We're a no-code specialist development agency based in the UK. I'm based in London. Companies based in London, and we work with businesses to design, build, launch SaaS products, software, web portals, and we also do a little bit of mobile apps as well. Historically, we've worked with a lot of entrepreneurs, founders, that kind of thing. Some have raised money, some haven't, some are bootstrapped, and then we also work mostly with businesses, existing businesses now, to solve business problems that they may be having. So in this video, I wanted to run through kind of like a really basic spider diagram and sort of marketing map and that we use, or at least I'm using, to plot out and create some kind of clarity around our marketing at Creator Concepts, because there's so many ways to market a business now. It's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult to know which ones to focus on and where you should be focusing, especially when it comes down to things like how much budget have you got to spend, where should I allocate this budget. My friend told me to do this, I've read about this, so-and-so influencer's telling me to do this, and I'll just kind of talk to you about how I look at things. So what I've done is it's color-coded as basic as it can be. Green is essentially where I have strong skills, or at least I think I have strong skills. Medium is orange, so this is like working skills. I spelled working wrong there, just ignore that. Oh, I've made that even worse. Cool. Working skills, as in like I know how to do it. I know how to set campaigns. I know how to run things. I know the basic premise. And then hard, where I'm lacking skills. And to be honest, weirdly, I could probably put all of these as red. Realistically, I could probably put all of these as red, and I think most people could for most of their career, because I think you're always learning in marketing, and I think you're always lacking skills. Unless you're, an absolute wizard, I think you're always lacking skills, or at least have a growth potential. But for the time being, I've just gone with the way I've prioritized it in terms of what I want to focus on is more just relative to how confident I am in doing it. So historically with Creator Concepts, I'll talk a little bit about that, and I'll talk about some other businesses I've run as well. So I'm 28. I've run businesses since 19. So what's that? 9 years. Well, I started off when I was 18. Call it 10 years. Yeah. Historically, we have relied a lot on referrals, and we've got a really great partner who's also a good friend of mine, who sends us projects, and often with no-code development and like applications and bubble apps, it doesn't necessarily fit other types of agencies like web design agencies. People come to them thinking that they need a website, but actually they need a web app or a portal, and they don't really know. They don't really know the keyword, or they don't really know the search term to put in. So referrals have been really, really good, and some of our best clients have just come from referrals. So I think, and I've just realized it's not even on here, but this is more active marketing that I wanted to focus on. So referrals has always been a really good driver. But in terms of active marketing, and when I say active, I mean putting in place mechanisms and strategies to actually drive a consistent lead flow and consistent level of deals coming in, or at least leads coming in. Whereas with referrals, it's kind of spotty, it's here and there. You might get 1 or 2 a week, you might get none for a month, and it's hard to scale a business using referrals unless you have like a massive affiliate network, and we won't get into that. I don't really have much experience with affiliate, so I don't really talk about it. Cold email. So I had a explainer video agency that we ran pretty much exclusively on cold email, cold outbound. We use Smart Lead, we use Apollo, really, really great tools, and it was a good business. It was a good business. Very, very difficult now. I think it was easier a few years ago with cold email. I think it's got a lot harder now. Inbox reputation goes down very quickly. It's very hard to acquire customers through it just because of trust. With outbound, is a lot less than it used to be because everyone's doing it now. So people are just bombarded by the same sort of messages and the same generic ChatGPT generated messages. And most things, even as soon as someone receives a cold email and they can detect it's got that kind of cold email stink to it, is what I'd say. You can just tell it's a cold email, especially if there's some horrendous fake personalization inside it as well. It just goes straight in the bin. So I think it's a lot harder now for cold email, and we have spun up Smart Lead, and we are running some campaigns at the moment for it, but really focusing on not even personalization, but just the tone of the email. And when I say tone, I mean, instead of being like, "Hi, John, as a marketing manager in XYZ company," like, they know what their role is. They know who they are. Just by you showing that you know that, it doesn't do anything. It just means that you've scraped it from somewhere. Or use an AI to do it. Like, it's pointless. It's a waste of a line. And you've only got a very small period of time to actually... you've only got a very small period of time to capture their attention and give them some kind of value. And I think that's what a lot of people forget, is they see email as just like an advert. And it's not meant to just be an advert. It's not just talking about yourself. You need to show value. So what we do is we talk about... Well, we just show the value up front. So we say... in fact, we won't even say hi. We'll just say the first name. So we'll be like, "John, we were working with a client in XYZ space similar to your agency. We put together a proof of concept for them, but we can do a similar thing for you." I mean, that even off just me saying that sounds bad. It's not as that isn't exactly what we write. It's more focusing on what we would do for them. That's how I'd summarize it, is like, we're not just trying to show that we know who they are. We want to explain exactly what we do, and how we'll help them solve a particular problem. In what period of time? We don't really say how much, but we just offer it maybe pro bono, free, essentially, like a proof of concept for free. That could be a good sort of initial lead magnet or initial offer to them, is we can build this particular... All right, perfect example. Okay, so let's say we're reaching out to recruitment companies to offer them a custom recruitment tracking software. Instead of trying to pitch them and kind of gatekeep the solution, we'll just say, "John, would you be interested in a pro bono proof of concept for a custom candidate tracking system? We did a similar thing for this other agency. What do you think of that idea?" Something really basic like that, where we're not gatekeeping anything. We're just showing the value up front, and we're offering them a solution that we've done for other people as well. Find that is hopefully going to work. We've only just started it, but it should work a lot better than just the generic kind of stuff you see. With meta ads, I'd say I've got pretty good working skills now. So at least I know how to run campaigns. I know how to create relatively good hooks, get leads, campaign types to use, set up, all of that kind of thing. So I think that's a strong acquisition strategy. We've got like a 4x ROAS at the moment. We have turned ads pretty much off. I think we've got it down to like £10 a day, which is basically nothing, just tokenistic. But yeah, the reason being is I haven't figured out a good offer for the types of businesses that we want to attract. And if you watch the previous video, episode 4, we're moving more towards like SEO. Blog content. I've tried blogs before. I've used blog content writers, agencies. We used an agency for a while. I don't even think any of the content that they produce actually ranked, like when we looked at the analytics. Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where it's easy to write a blog article. Well, I say that. I know how to write a blog article, and we do have a blog, but it's not really like a massive acquisition strategy. Google Ads. We actually have got 3 or 4 really notable deals from Google Ads. This was a couple of years ago that we went in on it. We only did £50 a day, and we got like about 40K in deals. So like $50,000 in deals from Google, from like $1,000 ad spend or something crazy. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something mental like that, something crazy like that. Tried it again, completely different world, really, really difficult. I'd actually put this as hard, in fact, because it's so different now. Costs are going up. We're looking at, like, especially for no-code software development and even just software development generally, we're seeing like £10-15 cost per clicks, and it's like really, really difficult. And when you've only got like a £50 ad spend per day, you basically spend nearly half of that each time someone clicks. So really expensive for the niche that we're in, or the market that we're in. Cold calling. So we've recently signed on an agency to cold call on our behalf. That seems to be yielding some interesting conversations. We haven't had any proper like meetings booked yet, but it's only been about a week. They're only doing 15 hours a week outbound calling for us. And there has been some interest. There's been like, they're a really good team actually. They've been going for 10, 15 years, I think, something like that. Really experienced. So they kind of know how to handle objections. They know how to get past gatekeepers, find the right people. They'll follow up. They'll follow up on email. You know, they're really good. From what I've seen, from what I understand, at least in the week it's been running or so. It's a slow burn. I think same with cold email, same with SEO to a certain extent. Like anything that's like that, it just takes a while to build up and compound, and it might take 6 months to actually build an outbound system that works. But we'll just have to see what happens with it. And from the responses they've been getting, there has been some interest in the offer. So we're running an offer for SaaS agencies for digital agencies who want to launch SaaS products. So often with an agency, you're capped at a certain revenue level, you're capped at trading time for money, and we can build software that unlocks leverage. So you can build monthly recurring revenue, that kind of thing, by selling your expertise as a SaaS product, either as a lead magnet or as a downsell from your high ticket services. So you could have like a branding agency or a marketing agency where you sell marketing services, and if you get leads that can't afford it, you can downsell them to a do-it-yourself marketing SaaS, for example. So some really good opportunity there, and there's some interesting offers that we're trying to work on the cold calling side. And that doubles up with the cold email as well. We pair the two. LinkedIn posts. So I do 2 posts a week on LinkedIn, and I think the basis of some of these videos is going to be me running through those LinkedIn posts and talking about the same sort of topics, probably on the same day or within a couple of days threshold of that. But I use LinkedIn as almost like my personal Twitter or personal X. I never really got into Twitter or X, but LinkedIn is kind of like that for me now. I tried AI generating content and people knew it was AI. I knew it was AI, even though I trained it to sound like me. It was pretty cool, but it's AI. So now I've just been like putting out 2 posts a week where I'm just rapid firing ideas or thoughts that I've had or things that I've realized. With a picture of me, and that seems to be working well. Like it's compounding. We're getting likes, or I'm getting likes, comments, impressions, that kind of thing. So we just have to keep doing that, see what happens. And I put that as easy skills. I know how to do it. I kind of know how to structure a hook for LinkedIn. You know, there's different variations of I was speaking to a really nice guy, a friend of mine, now when I went to Asia. And he's telling me about different LinkedIn post structures, so like WTF hooks, where it's like you're trying to capture attention through like a WTF moment sort of thing, or a warm and fuzzy, where it's more of like one of those personal LinkedIn posts you see where it might be about family or friends or pet or something like that. You know, storytelling. There's so many different ways and approaches to LinkedIn. I think it's really good for personal brand. I'm trying to build the personal brand up a little bit, and I suppose that's part of the purpose of these videos as well. But I think LinkedIn is a really good opportunity for any kind of agency just to have that kind of presence. So this is what we're doing at the moment. We've got 6 different marketing strategies. Most would say that's too much, but I think we're going to be turning off Meta entirely, and Google Ads are switched off entirely now, actually thinking about it. I did it the other day. So drop Google Ads. And going all in on LinkedIn posts, then the cold outbound, and SEO. In fact, SEO is not even on here. Yeah. So that's what we're doing at the moment. Whether it works, we'll have to see. Hopefully through the course of these kind of episodes, I'll I will tell you, just for my learning. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But thanks for tuning in. Hopefully that was moderately valuable. I don't know. It was valuable to me just to talk through it, if nothing else. But yeah, just to show you kind of the things that we run, the things we're trying to do, some of the findings I've found around, how things have gotten more difficult with Google and, the strategies that we're using. So maybe you got some value, maybe you didn't. Either way, leave a comment or like and subscribe, which is the first time I've ever said that. So I guess I'm officially a content creator now. Anyway, thanks. Bye.